All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media, and my name is Judson Powell. All right, I want to keep talking about this ritual stuff. Okay, the DMX and all these other, they are ritual killings. They are basically a form of lynching. And we notice, that, and we have to take notice of all of this stuff in the fact of that there's like a rapper killed every few months. We also know that there are young black men and women that are killed by the police through police brutality. We also know that there are, that all of this stuff, if you look at it, it fits a pattern. Kobe Bryant, Nipsey Hussle, even back in the day, Tupac and Biggie, Medgar Evers. I can go down the list. Whitney Houston, and even now, and now Bobby Brown has come out and saying that he thinks that Bobby Christina's boyfriend did it, but there's no proof. And he's dead too. All right. And then another one of his sons ends up dead. And I hate to, bring out theories like this, but, everybody always talk about, oh, you got a conspiracy theory for everything. Oh, there's, it's not a conspiracy theory. Well, when it keeps on happening over and over again, actually, it's not a conspiracy. It's actuality. It's realistic. It's actually something that is going on and that we can document and that we can see taking place in our communities every day. I mean, come on. The George Floyd trial of Derek Chauvin, whatever his name is, I don't even really care about him, but the trial to convict George Floyd's killer, and then you notice all of this stuff, and the same is true for Daunte Wright. I mean, they're undercharging these people. Why? Because the police. Remember, this girl who killed Daunte Wright, she is the former head of the police union. She's a former officer in the police union. I don't know if she was the head. Let me not lie. So, how does that happen? And how does she not know the difference? And how is she not charged with first-degree murder? Okay, and I want y'all to go back and I want y'all to research somebody, and I want you to really go back and take a look at some of the stuff that's happened throughout history. Okay, lynchings, and remember the original idea behind the police is what? Was they were people that were sent out in order to do what? Bring back runaway slaves, to capture slaves. In spirituality, when I open a door or I open a window in spirituality and that door or that window is never closed, guess what? Then it takes on a life of its own. Why do you think, why just like we had another mass shooting, 9 people dead and, which includes the gunman. And he's a little young, white kid. And he goes in, and the other thing is, how does he get in there to open, how do you get in? I've been to not the UPS, but the FedEx facility here in Arizona, and you can't even get past the front gate. You can't drive in. And so I guess he used to work there or whatever, and they just let him in. Because he looked safe, but he wasn't safe. And the other thing is, and if you let him in, how does he get in? And he's got weapons. So and Dick Gregory, the late great, civil rights activist Dick Gregory, he told us a long time ago that this stuff that they were performing rituals. And the late great Bobby Hemmett, he told us that they have rituals. Because why? Because all of these rituals are based on what? They're based on human blood sacrifice. Y'all get all scared about the Illuminati and stuff like that, but y'all don't get scared about people just walking down the street. Because how does this stuff happen? Because they put it in their spirit. You know, and now, and the more that it happens, then they start seeing it, and they're people that are weak-minded enough that they will follow after the ritual. And they make it unique enough so that we know what's going on. Kobe Bryant, you know, like when I came out, I said, look, Kobe Bryant was basically, it was a ritual. And then when they went back, when you go back and you research the whole thing, you know, I'm not going to go through the whole MK Ultra thing, but when you look back, it was a ritualistic killing. Him and all the people that were on that helicopter that went down. Because why? Because there was no reason. Same thing with who else? With Aaliyah. Same thing with Left Eye, Lisa Lopez. You know, there's a whole bunch of these. See, when somebody dies prematurely, and then you can also tell by the way that, you know, that they're buried and the way that they carry the casket. And here's another thing. And then they always get, you know, the funeral is always paid for by some other MK Ultra asset. Somebody else, you know, comes and steps up. Oh, well, you know, so-and-so did this, that, and the other thing. After DMX died, what was the first rumor? That Jay-Z and Beyonce had purchased his masters, and, you know, and he was good. And that, you know, they would give that to his 17 children. When it really comes up to it, you know, he was already, you know, from what I read, you know, I don't know for sure. And I'm just saying, from what I read in some other credible sources, he had about $1.5 million when he died. All right. So, you know, and I get it. And of course, people are going to give him money, give them money and all of that kind of stuff. And then we go along and we look at the stuff that happens. And then you even have black people that participate in this stuff as well. You answer me, why is every black artist go through all of the music industry? Why are all the highest paying, top selling black artists, why are they dead or broke? And most of them are dead. Luther Vandross is dead. Huh? Think about it. Whitney Houston is dead. You know, the biggest selling artists of that era, pretty much all of them are dead. And then you go, and then even when talking about Whitney Houston, you know, and then you go to Bobby Brown and everybody else, you know, all the people that surrounded her, basically, except for Bobby Brown, they're all dead. Look it up. I don't have to lie to y'all. Just look this stuff up, because there is a clear-cut pattern to all of this stuff, and that's what they used to do. That's why I tell people all the time, you know, don't call stuff picnics. Picnics are what? Picnics are, we pick a nigga and we hang them and we lynch them, you know, while we sit there and eat and take pictures with the dead, burnt up, charred body. That's why, with any of y'all that saw the Billie Holiday story, you know, that they allowed on TV, and that's one thing I always tell you. I was like, they tell the stories from their angle and from their perspective, or they make it look like the deceased person is the enemy. And you can go through every single one of these murders, and the first thing they do, that's what they're doing to George Floyd right now. They're trying to make George Floyd seem like he's guilty. Oh, he had a heart condition. Oh, he had this. This is wrong. No, y'all, somebody stepped on his neck for 9 minutes. That's what killed him. And they got all these experts coming up there saying, oh, no. You know, the officer stepping on his neck had nothing to do with it, you know. And if you go into all of these ritualistic killings, you will always find, because why? Because they were never prosecuted. They never prosecuted any of these slave masters. They never prosecuted anybody for killing black folks. They could kill black folks ad nauseum. They went 400 years killing black folks with no punishment. All of the people that were involved in the Emmett Till case, you know, which I brought up yesterday, all of them, none of them went to jail. Nobody went to jail, you know, for anything. Nobody. And they never went to jail during slavery. They could kill black people and they could lynch black people whenever they wanted to. And they performed all kinds of heinous sexual acts against them. They raped and sodomized and did everything else to our people, to our ancestors. So what happens is, as you start making that pattern, it becomes what? It becomes a ritual. It becomes ritualistic to them. Because it's a horrible thing, and they do it sacrificing what? To their God. And so what is their God? In God we trust, one. Their God is money. Because the whole reason behind slavery in the first place was what? Was to make them rich. That 400, well, you know, let's even say 250 to 400 year head start financially is the reason why they have money to this day, which is why we need to demand reparations. You tell me why, after all this time, even the time after, you know, Reconstruction after the Civil War was what, 1863? And we haven't, since 1863, it is 2021, and we still haven't got a penny from them. And every time, you know, they can find out ways they can give the rich a 35% tax cut. You got people out here that are billionaires that are making triple digit billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. But yet, you know, and how did that money come around? All of that money came through us. And that's why that's why they act like they give a show when they feel like all of a sudden that black people are going to boycott them or not buy their products, because they know that we make up the majority and they need us to buy their products. If we don't buy their soda and their potato chips and their meat and their this, that, and the other thing, we don't own any of the infrastructure. And then that's another thing. They destroy the black farmers. I actually look at the black farmers page all the time. And I mean, some of the stuff that they're doing to them is horrible. Because what? Because that stuff is, everybody got to eat. So that stuff literally makes them billions of dollars. So do they want to let us in on the billions of dollars? No. And so it all is surrounded. It also is surrounded by money. That's why, you know, the love of money is the root of all evil. No, I would, you know, beg to differ and say anything doing with money is the root of all evil. Because they were, you know, I mean, it wasn't necessarily that they love money, and so that's why they have generational wealth. And we're like, since 1863, and we still haven't started to build generational wealth. And every now and then we got a couple of people that do, but then they always make sure that they have some kind of shortcoming or some kind of demise. A la Bill Cosby or, you know, somebody like that. You can't name me a black man or a black woman that has a lot of money, maybe Oprah, that they haven't gone after. And maybe we don't know. Maybe Oprah's time is coming. But you can't make this stuff up. Everybody black that had a lot of money, they came after. Either gave them some bogus charges, you know, Michael Jackson, Prince, all of them, they all, you know, all of that stuff is ritualistic. How come all the rich, you know, even go back Jimi Hendrix or, you know, Sam Cooke? I mean, let's be realistic. And then who ended up with all that money? I mean, ask yourself some simple questions. Anyway, fastest 15 minutes is up. My name is Judson Powell. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons, but most of all, hit the love button. And go back and research your boy Dick Gregory and see what he was talking about. Anyway, love y'all.